Hey everyone, it's Zainab here. Welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be painting these simple loose cone flowers. So if you'd like to join me, grab your paints and let's begin. For colours today I'll be using Viridian Hue mixed with Cadmium Red, Sap Green and Burnt Umber, Cadmium Yellow, Permanent Rose mixed with Alizarin Crimson, Yellow Ochre and Van Dyke Brown. So for today's painting I will be using a snap brush instead of a mop brush, and the difference between the two is that the mop brush holds a lot more water and will stay in any shape that you place it in, as you can see, and a snap brush will always go straight back to its place, and that's why it has the name snap. It will always go back into its original shape, and I will be using this because for the flowers we are creating today, the type of petals that we need to be doing, it needs a very thin point. And the petals that the mop brush give are very thick and come to a round point, which is why I'll be using a snap brush for today's flowers. I began by taking some cadmium yellow and just placing small little dots closely together in a half moon shape, and then went in with my pink mix of alizarin crimson and permanent rose and doing the petals. I start off at the tip of the brush, pushing down with the whole body and then lifting the brush up to a fine tip to create the petals. The flower can have as many or as little petals as you want. I think 4 would be the minimum, and you can make it thicker as I have here, and I like to change it up on each flower so that they are not all identical in number and look different. And I just repeated this process of creating the bud in a half moon shape and then doing a few petals on each of the flowers. I decided to paint 5 flowers as I think it's always nicer when things are in odd numbers. So I just went ahead and I painted all of them before I begin on the stem and leaves. I then just took any remaining paint left on my brush and just splashed the rest all around the flowers. I then just took a clean brush and just blended in some of the splash marks to create cute little flowers around the main flowers. Then taking my sap green and burnt umber mix, I just began creating the stems of the flowers. This is just very simple, just doing lines that are slightly bended. We don't want to be painting perfectly straight lines, and I just did this for each of the flowers. Then taking more of the sap green, I just began by doing some grass all around the bottom of the page where the flowers are, just to create a bit of depth and make the painting have some more colour. You can skip this step if you wish to and just have no grass at all. I do like the effect of having quite a lot of grass. I just think it makes it look more summery and it just adds a lot more to the painting in the end. Then taking our darker green mix, I just began to lightly go over the stems of the flowers and also add some leaves, and I use the same type of technique to create leaves as I do for petals, so just starting at the tip, pushing down and then lifting up. I do sometimes bend my brush slightly so I get different shapes each time, and I just added also some more dark green grass over the lighter green, and this is just to make it more dimensional and give it a more realistic effect. I then just took my brush and also added some green splashes around the grass. Then taking the Van Dyke Brown and Yellow Ochre mix, I added some small tiny dots around the bottom of the bud of the flowers just to add a bit more darkness and contrast to the flower center. And to finish off the painting, I just added some little lines and dashes to the petals once they were completely dry with more of the pink mix. And that is pretty much it for the painting. So I really hope you enjoyed today's tutorial, and please make sure you give this video a like and subscribe, and I will see you in the next video.